Can't wait to see Eddie Howe in that dugout for the first time tomorrow. Wait, no, he's got COVID. Brentford match preview. Welcome back to another video on the channel, Newcastle fans. Now, breaking news tonight. Just when you think, the new owners have come in, we're not going to be a soap opera anymore. We're not going to be the laughing stock. We're not going to be that club that everything bad seems to happen to. Eddie Howe's in. He's got the players playing on the training ground. He's got this attacking style of football he's going to implement. Nice international break. Brentford on Saturday. Can't wait to see him in the dugout. The atmosphere is going to be booming. And then he tests positive for COVID the night before the game. Oh, I mean, nothing says Newcastle United more than a new manager who we all can't wait to see in that dugout in a new era miss the first game and the second game against Arsenal next week because he's got COVID. Jesus Christ. Now, how much is this going to affect things? Well, truth be told, I think tomorrow it's not going to affect things too much. He's had all week to put his style of how he wants us to approach Brentford. He's done his homework on the opposition. The players will probably know where they're playing tomorrow, tactics, everything like that. And he will be involved, obviously, on the phone and whatnot, and video called, I'm sure, to the assistant coach. But it's that Arsenal game next week. He's not going to be on the training ground all week. It's going to be constant video calls and getting ready for a first away game, new opposition. I just think it's setting us up for a slow start before we've even properly begun. And it's so frustrating because of this isolation period where he's not going to be able to go anywhere near the players. But, I would give it the whole. I hope Eddie Howe's going to recover fine, but I think it's safe to say, touch wood, it's safe to say Eddie Howe's not going to see too many bad health effects from COVID. He's a fit and healthy, quite young man. Doesn't have any breathing issues I'm aware of anyway, or any underlying health issues to go on top of this. So we hope he recovers well, but Jesus Christ, how frustrating. I'm so up for tomorrow. Eddie Howe waving to everyone, new era, atmosphere will be incredible, and then he's not even going to be there. So I am still confident tomorrow, going into tomorrow's game. Brentford have impressed us all, I think it's fair to say. They play some decent football. They've obviously got Tony who's going to have a point to prove tomorrow. It never happened for him at Newcastle, and he will be a bit bitter, and not bitter necessarily maybe, but he'll want to come to me and say, this is what you missed out on, lads, to every single fan in that stadium. So I wouldn't bet against him scoring because they normally do. Perez came back to score against us recently. I wouldn't be surprised if Rondon scores when we play Everton over Christmas. It does happen. But I'm confident tomorrow. I am. We are going to see a different Newcastle United, and I'm not going to get too excited. I think some Newcastle fans are maybe getting a bit carried away, thinking that it's going to be like watching a different team completely. I think Eddie Howe's only had a little bit of time to get to know the players, and there is some good players in there, and we needed some tactical nous that Steve Bruce just didn't have. He didn't even know what a tactic was. So we are going to see a better Newcastle United tomorrow, and I do expect us to win. I can happily say, but I don't expect it to be all guns blazing amazing football. That's going to come with time. I think the reason that I'm confident going into tomorrow mainly is because these players have been sapped of anything for the best part of 2 years. Negative football, tactically not really there, didn't want the manager in charge who was in charge, negativity from Mike Ashley. Now it's all changed. New owners, war flags are back before the game, the atmosphere is better, new manager, fresh, getting them grafting the bollocks off. I've read about the bleep tests, I've read about tactical changes, about really putting them to work. He's talked about that in his press conference today, and I think that's exactly what this bunch of players has needed. One of them, wake the hell up, because we are going to get relegated if you don't, and I think we will see a Newcastle United on the front foot tomorrow, and I can't wait for that. I can't wait to just see us attack. I can't wait to see players want the ball. I can't wait to see Maximin utilised a little bit better. Maybe Joe Linton come out of his shell a bit. Joe Willock, where's he been this year? I just think that tomorrow we are going to see the start of something. And yes, Eddie Howe's not going to be in the dugout, which is so frustrating. And I feel for the guy, because he will have been, imagine being Eddie Howe. No disrespect to Bournemouth, but Eddie Howe's only really experienced managing a team with a very small stadium, small fan base. To come to Newcastle in your first game in charge with the richest owners in the world, in front of a packed out 52,000 in St James's Park at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. I mean, come on, he'll have been so excited for that, and his family, so I do feel for the bloke. But I do expect us to win. I've read what Eddie Howe said today about the importance of John Joe Shelvey. I was like blown into a brown paper bag. But we have to trust everything Eddie Howe says, and I do. He's a football man. He lives and breathes analysis. You can tell he's one of them managers. Very similar, you could say, to Rafa Benitez, and I don't mean that in playing style before any Newcastle fan jumps down my throat. I mean in terms of how he analyses everything. He'll have all his stats. He'll know exactly who's ran what. He'll be very meticulous on this touchline. I've got no doubts about that. He'll probably talk the players through every phase of the game. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, we won't see it on Saturday in terms of him on the dugout. But he'll be watching the game. And he'll be in the assistant coach Turnstill's ear. He'll be in Graham Jones's ear. So it will be Turnstill and Jones taking the game tomorrow. And yeah, if Shelvey is going to come in, let's get behind Shelvey. Let's see whether he can prove me wrong, because I personally think he's been useless for the last 2 years. And he almost looks like he's not as interested as what he maybe once was. So I hope he gets out of that slumber. I hope he's woken him up on the training ground. Same with Joe Linton. Same with Lascelles. I think Lascelles will stay in the team because he's our captain, and Eddie Howe will probably keep him in. I would like to see Fernandez brought back into the fold. That's just what's exciting about tomorrow. That team coming in. We've got a new manager now. Someone who wants to play attacking football. I will be urgently searching for the team news, and that's the kind of thing we haven't had for ages. So will Fernandez come in, hopefully? Dubravka has to come back in for me. He's our strongest goalkeeper. Get him in. He played for us in the international break. And let's just go at Brentford. I think they've lost like the last 3 on the belt. They are in a bad run of form. And we can beat them. It's Brentford. Yes, they've started the season well, but it is Brentford. So let's get 3 points finally on the board tomorrow, because we've got a tricky away game to Arsenal the week after. We've got Leicester coming up. We've got Man United, Man City, Everton. We've got a lot of hard fixtures coming up, and it is not going to get any easier. So Brentford on Saturday is huge. So fingers crossed. I cannot wait for the match. I'm going to go for I'm feeling ballsy, you know. I'm going to go for 3-0 Newcastle. I could come back to haunt me like a bad smell, like a Steve Bruce ghost, that prediction. But we'll see. As always, Newcastle fans, drop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on tomorrow. You've probably noticed me itching this beard. Oh, I need to shave. I'm still doing November. £360 raised if anyone wants to donate. And yeah, I'm rough as hell if I'm being honest on this video. I went to Sam Fender last night. What a show, but I am hanging out of my hoop today. Can't wait to go to bed. Bring on tomorrow though, 3 points, couple of pints and a new era. How are you, the lads? Even if you've got COVID, I still think you're going to do it for us. Let's see 3 points in the bank tomorrow, lads. And I'll touch down for a match review.